What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Thompsons Podcast.
Welcome back. Hey. That's all I got for them. That's all I got for the kids.
So, as you guys know, my name is Leslie Thompson, and I'm here with my lovely, beautiful wife,
Takoya Thompson. Hello, everybody. It's been too long. We're very excited to be here.
We are so excited. Baby, when was the time of our last podcast?
You know, I was actually just looking that up. So we did 4 episodes, which I'm surprised. I can't even remember we did 4, but we did 4 episodes in May of 2020. And we are now here in January of 2022.
That's
oh,
crazy.
Man, we've been making you guys wait. But, you know, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder, so we hope you guys have missed us.
Right.
But, honestly, we're excited to be back here and get this going again. So many things have happened since the last podcast. Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say, you guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed the ones we did a couple years ago, don't worry, we're not going to make you wait again like last time. But if you enjoy this, please do share this podcast. If you know anybody that would love listening to this, if you want to share it on your social media, that really helps us. We would love for more people than just our family. You know, although we love you, family, right? They're great support. We would love for other people to hear this, to hear what we got going on here. So we would absolutely appreciate it. But yeah, let's get back into it. So much has happened.
Yeah, so much. And you know what? Let me just say, it feels good to be back, doesn't it?
It does.
It feels good to be sitting here in our little makeshift podcast studio.
It does.
But you know, like Takoya was saying, a lot has happened. Let's just go down memory lane. So one of the major things that has happened since is we've moved. So we no longer live in La Grande, Oregon. Mm-hmm. We now live in Salem, Oregon.
Yes, which thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yeah. I mean, we love, La Grande, Oregon. It has a lot of memories. That's where we met. Mm-hmm. That's where we got married. But let's just say it was time for a change,
Yeah, we were 2 big city kids in a small city town.
Yeah.
2 streets. Literally, it's one of those towns where there's like 2 streets that like make up the whole town.
Like one intersection.
And now we're in the capital of Oregon, my home state. And just to remind you guys, in May of 2020, Leslie and I had only been married for 1 month. Mm-hmm. Barely even 1 month. So, here we are in April. It'll be 2 years. So besides moving, we had our first year anniversary.
Yeah, and that was actually exciting. We went skydiving.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do an
well.
episode on that because boy, was that crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't even know.
So you started a new career.
I started a new career.
Takoya is now
a licensed real estate agent in the state of Oregon. If you're looking to buy or sell, holler at your girl. Oh, that's not very professional. If you're looking to buy or sell, please give me a call at Takoya Thompson, EXP Realty.
Right.
Also, my husband, Leslie here, he is about a few days away from taking his exam to become a
realtor as well.
Yes, and we're going to be the Thompsons real estate team. We're very excited to do that.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, I feel like, is that about it? Oh.
Is that? No?
Oh, I mean, hell yeah. I did give birth like 2 weeks ago.
At home. It was an at-home birth.
Unmedicated at-home birth to an almost 10-pound baby. That will also be another episode. Leslie's like, let's talk about that. I'm like, I'm not far enough removed from the situation to...
You guys, listen, it was an experience. I don't want to talk about it too much because we're going to save an entire episode for that. But let me just say, just watching, the love of your life just give birth. Like, man, I have a totally new respect. Well, I always had respect for women. Let me just say that.
Yes,
but
you did.
Now it's like,
It makes you want to call your mom, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, because it's crazy. Like you think about it like, oh yeah, she's just going to give birth. But to actually see your son, coming out of your wife is just, it's a different experience.
Mind-bending, as Netflix might call it.
Yeah, so I love it 10 times even more now.
Oh, give me a kiss, darling. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're going to start this podcast. like I said, we'll give you a couple more episodes. It's actually funny, in May, like I said, we put out 4 episodes, and that was kind of our problem. We'd only been married for a month, and we kept trying to figure out more content to put out, but we didn't really have a lot. Like I said, we lived in a small town, not much going on. And now we feel like we have just so much content for you guys, and we were trying to discuss what should we come back with? You know, what should be our thing? Should we go in chronological order and talk about something that happened in the past? But you guys, we are new parents, and we've only been new parents for 2 weeks and 3 days, like anybody's counting, 5 hours and 26 minutes. But we honestly just felt like we should start there. It's just been such a big transition in our lives.
Actually, instead of starting there, why don't we start to like the entire pregnancy? So like how you felt before the birth. I was thinking we'd do that in the birth one, but I mean that is kind of like where you become a parent. You know? Yeah.
So that's what we're going to come with you guys today. Like what it's like transitioning into being new parents, and then what has it physically been like being with a newborn baby for the last 2.5 weeks.
So Takoya, let me ask you, you know, you've been pregnant for 9 months. 10 months, sorry guys. 10 months. So just give us sort of how was that for you?
Boy, you know, so Leslie and I did try to get pregnant. It was Christmas of 2021 that we decided to try, and we found out we were pregnant on April 29th. I wrote it on my pregnancy stick. I was by myself. I actually took the test because, you know, for 3 or 4 months before then, I kept thinking I was maybe pregnant, and then my period would happen. So I didn't want to go through that emotional roller coaster again. So I just decided to just take a pregnancy test to know for a fact that I wasn't pregnant, like I had assumed. So Leslie wasn't even home, and I peed on the stick as you're supposed to, and it came up with 2 lines. Well, one line was so very faint that I actually threw the pregnancy stick away and thought I wasn't pregnant, and I called Leslie and I was like, hey, I'm not pregnant. I mean, technically there was like a little bit of a line, and you're like, well, doesn't that mean you're pregnant? And so he told me to go get another one. And yeah, I just remember being super excited. I tried to, you know, like play a prank on him because he was in Portland and be like, oh, I'm not pregnant, or I don't remember what I did, but it didn't go out very well. But anyways, it was just a crazy time. And this whole pregnancy, like I said, it just made me think about my mom a lot, specifically my mom. Like when I felt the baby move for the first time, and then just the progression of his movements getting stronger and stronger and stronger, to the 3rd trimester where you really understand you have a baby in you. I think before the 3rd trimester, it's almost like kind of like you don't believe it, you know, because you don't look that different, you don't feel that different. I mean, you might feel sick and stuff, but yeah, it was just pretty crazy. It made me think about my mom a lot every time something happened. And honestly, like they say at the end, you're just done being pregnant. I was just so huge. It was so hard to get up and down. I felt like I had to take up the whole couch or anywhere I sat. So this Christmas 2021, this last Christmas here, I was in my last month of pregnancy. The baby could come at any time. His mother, Mama Luann, and our sister Zoya, shout out to you guys, they came and stayed with us for a month pretty much in anticipation of baby Amaya's coming. And yeah, it was honestly a really great Christmas experience. It was a really great holiday. And obviously it ended with a home birth and our beautiful baby boy coming, which, like I said, we'll do a whole podcast on that. But I guess now that we're actual parents, now that I have my baby boy and I'm like actually feeding him and taking care of him and breastfeeding and all that, I thought I felt like a parent before, but now I've realized like it's just, like being a parent's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely say that. And you know, my experience was kind of different. Very different. I'm not going to say kind of different. I didn't have a child growing in me the entire time. But I'm just going to say that I'm glad now that I actually get to feel like a parent, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, she's been pregnant the entire time. And I feel like there was sort of a detachment. Like I was kind of detached from the process, right? Because she would feel the baby kicking as he got older, and she would get to you know, play with him, and she tell me about, oh, hey, babe, so today I felt the baby, like I felt this rolling sensation. But for me, it was just like, you know, like the only like connection I get to this is if I would like feel her stomach and I'd feel feel him kick, or when I say like hey Myers, and he'd sort of like kick when he don't realize that it's my voice. But for the entire time I felt like I wasn't a part of it. So I'm glad now that he's actually here and we can form that bond, because prior to this, it was mostly just, I was still able to be there and be there for you. But as far as me and him creating a bond, we just didn't have that because I didn't have much experiences with him.
Yeah. I remember at the end of the pregnancy, I was just I was so big, and I knew that I was carrying somewhere between a 7 to 12 pound, you never know, baby inside me. And I just remember always having the thought, I can't wait till I give birth so somebody else can carry this baby. I felt like I had a permanent baby carrier strapped to my body in a very convenient area like my torso. So yeah, I'm glad that I can have some help carrying him around now. And honestly, I was excited to see my husband interact with the baby, and that's been one of the cool things. So, but before we get all into that, let's open it up for some questions with each other, because I am curious, Leslie, now that our baby's born, I want to ask you, let's see, what was it like your first time holding him? Did you have a euphoric moment? And by the way, guys, if you can hear a whining, that's not our baby. Our baby's sleeping. That's our dog. This microphone picks up everything, so ignore him whining out on the outside of the door. Yeah. But anyways, so what was it like? Did you have a big bonding moment, or how did you feel holding your son for the first time?
So just to go into the birth process, right? So not the birth process, but the birth. So when Takaya had him, I was able to hold him. They gave him to me, right? And to be honest, it was sort of I feel like I didn't really feel much emotion. I felt more emotion during the time when she was, screaming and pushing him out. That's when I felt the most emotion, because it was like, wow, this is really powerful. I'm seeing my wife do such a powerful thing. But right when I held him, it was sort of I didn't know how to feel, because I remember being in the hallway and I was holding him, and I was just looking down at this sort of gray baby, and he wasn't gray. He was beautiful. He kind of was perfect. But he was still, he had really no melanin. He was fresh out of you. But I was holding him, and he was kind of moving, and I don't think he was crying a lot.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't crying a lot. But I didn't really feel much of anything. Yeah. But then as later that night, normal, But later that night and the next day, I was able to sort of I feel like it finally hit me. Yeah. Oh, okay. It finally hit me that, this is my son. Mm-hmm. This is yours. This is a real living thing. Because before that, it was just him being inside your stomach. You feel the little kicks every now and again. Yeah. But to finally put a face to what has been doing this for the past few months, the entire time, once it finally hit me, it was I love this little dude. I love him with all my heart. It's crazy.
Yeah. There are definitely some really great moments of joy, like they say at the beginning. I remember just Leslie and I laying in bed together with the baby in between us, and like we said, for the first few days, he didn't really cry much, he didn't move much. That changes, but but you could just lay him there, and he would pretty much just be sleeping. Yeah. Still being not moving, just sleeping. And we would look at each other, and just the smiles on our faces were huge, and just the joy was just very overwhelming, and it's amazing. I mean, that's probably why people have children, is because of that feeling right there. So don't get us wrong, there's definitely really great moments of becoming new parents afterwards, especially when you're all together and things like that. Yeah. I feel like I definitely felt the love right away. I was happy that he didn't have a lot of vernix or stuff all over him. So when he was born, I was surprised at how much of a baby he looked like. He wasn't super blue or anything like that. And so I thought he was really beautiful, and I thought that was awesome. But yeah, let's see. Since then, what else? I think the crying is definitely a little bit hard for any parent. Wow. like I said, he didn't cry too much at first. He cried bloody murder, though, for his first few pamper changes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And Leslie, oh my gosh.
Listen, guys, listen. So you have to give me a little bit of slack, right? Because I already know what she's going to say. She's going to get on me for my diaper changing speed,
he's like
right?
He's like the tortoise. And the tortoise in the hair, like the slower you go for a diaper change, the better it is. That's not how I'm just kidding.
And my mom did the same thing. Keep in mind, though, that I haven't changed much baby's diapers.
Have you ever changed a baby's diaper?
At the baby shower,
a real baby, not a doll.
No, not a real baby.
Okay.
Not as far as I can remember. So I was a rookie coming into this, but I can tell you guys now, I'll step my game up. Trust me, I am a baby diaper changing pro. Yes. I'm nice with it.
And I think he's met us in the middle. Like I said, after the first several diaper changes, he kind of doesn't cry the majority of the time anymore with a cold or a warm wipe. Mm-hmm. So I think he's kind of gotten used to the fact that, okay, something cold's going to touch me, it's going to wipe me up, and the pamper comes back on and everything's good to go again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
Takoya, let me ask you. So our baby is going on 3 weeks old. Mm-hmm. And let me just say, guys, it feels like long. It feels like we had him for like 2 months. The days are like blending in together.
Really, I don't know what day of the week it is. Like, I look outside to see if the sun is up to know whether it's it's a blur.
But so Takoya, we've been with him for such a short time. What has your experience been? And I want the raw and uncut, because this is a non-judgmental podcast. Yeah. Keep in mind, guys, these are just our opinions on what we are experiencing in life. So what has your experience been?
In a nutshell, I feel like kind of, like I said, it's been great. I remember the first few days, it didn't matter what happened. I was just so in love with him. I loved looking at him, and I was so patient with him because I was like, he's never experienced this. He's never been in the world before. Of course he's going to cry during a pamper change, or of course he's going to cry for this or that. We had a little bit of difficulty with breastfeeding, but I was like, it's okay, like you've never done this before. You're learning, But then, he progressed every day. He got better a couple of things with breastfeeding. He got better with the diaper changes. And to the point where, like, at the end of the first week, I really felt like we had a good thing going for us. We even learned how to feed laying down together in the middle of the night, so it wasn't such a hassle. Well, what I'm starting to realize now is babies have things called, I hate this word because I just learned it yesterday, regressions, which means they regress. It means that just because you taught the dog a new trick doesn't mean the dog's going to forget that trick. I'm not comparing my child to a dog. I did that a lot, like having a baby and a pet. But it's not so easy breastfeeding in the middle of the night anymore. You can ask Leslie. I was taking the nights. I wasn't even needing his help because it was so easy, and we were doing great. Man, the last 3 nights, I'm like, all right, babe, you take over at 5 a.m. And like this morning, I gladly gave it. Hey, just so you know, it's 5. So if something happens, you're getting up and you're taking care of this. And the first few nights that he regressed, I would cry when he cried because I just didn't understand why something I thought we had learned already wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And so I guess that was an expectation that I didn't know. I thought that once a baby learned something, that was it. I was like, wow, this is gonna be so easy. He's only a week old, and we got this figured out. And now it's like, okay, no, he's gonna learn it, and then he's gonna regress or whatever. Yeah. I have a nickname for him now called Thrasher, because while he's trying to breastfeed, he likes to kick his arms and his legs and move his face from side to side and do this cry that's like, like. And move like, and then I'm like, dude, my breast is right there. It's in your mouth. Just stop crying and close it, and you have what you want. So I think that's been kind of the tough thing. And then lastly, I'll say, like, I kind of feel bad about myself because I do lose my patience. I don't, get mad at him. I don't really say anything to him, but I lose my patience and I get upset and I cry and I get frustrated. And I think that makes me feel like kind of like a bad mom sometimes, because I feel like I should have like this unending well of patience like I did the first few days or the first week when things were easier. So I'm working on asking you for help more or something when I'm running out of patience. Let me turn this off.
And I feel like we actually just had a discussion the other day where you expressed to me that you feel like like you're not being that great of a mom. And it's like I had to remind you that there is no real script to this. And I've even heard from different parents before. It's like, having a child will teach you patience. You have to be patient, right?
Reach.
Our parents were patient with us. And the thing is, we aren't even... She laughed.
My mama.
I'm going to tell Mama on you. But, you know, for the most part, you have to repeat things over and over again. You know, you're teaching someone that has not been on this world before new things. So you got to keep in mind that, you know what, you're going to have to repeat things over and over again and stuff like that. But as far as my experience... The best way that I could describe it is, you know, when you think of a Sour Patch It's like
oh my gosh, that is so
a Sour
true.
Patch, sour, sweet,
kid.
then gone.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Then they're gone. So, you know, he's not gone. He's not going anywhere, but it's kind of like that. So, you know, when he's just sitting there, he's quiet, he's giggly. Well, you know, you look at his face and it's just, you know, 100% cuteness. It's like, oh my goodness. We want him to stay at this stage forever. And then when he's out of this stage, we will have another one just to experience this stage. You know, it's just bliss. You have the, not melatonin. You have the, what's it called? Endorphins. Endorphins. You have endorphins when you hug him. It's the most amazing feeling. But then you have times when he's crying. And it's not really crying. It's more like screaming at the top of his lungs as hard as he can scream. Right?
Turns red.
And he turns red like a cherry. And the toughest part about it is, okay, sometimes when he cries, it can be a quick solution. It's most of the time it's one of three things. He's cold, he wet his diaper and he needs to be changed, or he's hungry.
Not in that order.
No, in the majority of the time, we always go to, okay, give him the tit, give him the tit, see if he wants that. Okay, number two, maybe he's cold, the brother's cold, let's cover him up.
Give him the boob and put a blanket over him, and then boom, he's good.
But the toughest thing is when you can't find those quick solutions, you're there with a baby that's crying, and all you want to do is make him happy. All you want to do is stop him from crying because it makes you feel bad. You're like, oh my goodness. This thing that I love so much is screaming at the top of his lungs. I just want to stop his suffering. Not suffering, but hurting.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes you feel that way. And especially, like, being a mother, like, a lot of maternal instincts have definitely kicked in. And when the crying happens, especially, like, when we're in a separate room from him and he starts to cry, and I'll tell, like, Leslie, hey, go grab him and bring him to me. If Leslie doesn't run essentially to him, aren't I being short with you? I'm like, come on, babe, come on, walk. I'm like, dude, I'm getting up right now. No, go faster, babe. Go pick up the baby, babe. Yeah. Like, I can't, like it's not, I don't know. It makes you kind of crazy as a mom to hear your baby cry.
It's definitely very easy to start an argument with your significant other when you have a crying baby. During the crying, yeah. Because it's like,
it's like an alarm. Literally,
you aren't rational anymore. Yeah. You're just like, do whatever you can do to stop this baby. Stop this baby from crying, right? I don't care. Just stop the baby. Yeah. And it's just, after, we've had to come together after and be like, you know what? Hey, baby, I'm sorry. Did a good job, you know, you did a great job. I'm sorry that I said that. It was just a frustrating time because, one, I'm already lacking sleep. It's like 5 a.m. He slept the last 2 hours, but now it's time to stop him from crying, and he wouldn't stop. So I'm a bit frustrated, and I'm very in a tough spot. You know, I'm sleep deprived. So,
and honestly, what has been the biggest help? Like, what has gotten us through this in those moments? Would you say?
I'd say God, honestly.
Yes, like
just praying over each other. Praying with each other. Making sure we have our Bible study. That's been really fundamental, and you know, I wouldn't say keeping us sane, but keeping us in good spirits. Because for new time, you know, first time parents, it's been tough, and you know, it was kind of easier when my mom was there, because you know, sometimes she'd hold the baby, she'd
cook us
cook us meals and stuff, but once she left, it's like, into the thick of it, it's just us two. It's just us two, and we are waist deep. You know, it's just us two, and we're left.
And I'm glad it is us. It is us, though. I mean, so many other women, I don't know, like their husbands don't get time off work, or they can't stop working, so they have to do it by themselves. And I'm just gonna say to all you women out there that are doing it by yourselves, you know, even if it's just when your man is at work, I don't even have the words. I don't know how you do it, but you're amazing people.
Very amazing.
My husband has been the best support, you know. I feel like I do take a lot of the responsibilities of the baby, but like when you need someone, I'm so glad that he's here. And yeah, like I said, we do our devotional every day. It's a daily devotional. Sometimes we'll miss it though. Oftentimes we're reading 2 devotionals in one night because we didn't do the one the day before or whatnot. But like, you know, my pastor said in a sermon once, sometimes you're thirsty and you go to the wrong well. Like you're like us being sleep deprived or us being upset about things. Like if we start to watch too much TV or we're doing something that's not gonna quench our thirst, which is reading our Bible, praying or something. And once we do that, I feel like it really helps rejuvenate my spirit to be able to better handle like those impatient moments and whatnot.
Yeah.
So if you're believers out there and you're new parents or you're going to become new parents, I would definitely come up with a praying schedule or, you know, like a plan to incorporate God deeper into your everyday life.
Yeah.
To be able to help.
And also based on our experience, another piece of advice that I'd give is remember that you guys are a team, you and your significant other. And I mean, I know it's not the same for everyone. We have single mothers, we have people who had kids and they aren't together. But I'm talking about based on our experience. This is my partner. So you have to remember that, yes, a newborn is now into the equation, but it's still you guys that started this. So make sure to still embrace each other, to still, you know, flirt every now and again. Let your wife or girlfriend know that, hey, babe, you know, you looking, you know, getting sexy today, girl. Like, you know, I see those waves shaving off you. You looking good. You know, just keep that in mind because that's what's going to make everything stick together.
And I would say what really helped us with that is we actually took a couple weeks off before the baby was here, mostly because we thought the baby would come any day now, and he came a week late. Is during those last few weeks in pregnancy where it was just the 2 of us, we really did spend time together at night falling asleep just saying, you know, hey, I commit to you when the baby's here that it's still going to be us. It's going to be you and me for him, and we are a team, and I love you. You are my everything. Because I feel like men sometimes can feel like left out when a mom becomes a mom. Just like, hey, she was mine and now she's so busy all the time. So women, I would definitely give the advice of, you know, making sure your husband feels loved and, you know, like you said, making him feel sexy if you can. And whenever the baby's sleeping, to put the baby down if he allows you to. Our baby loves to sleep on a boppy or this little like, it's called a swing, but it's like a vibrating thing. The baby can sleep fine in those things, but a lot of times in the beginning especially, I would just want to hold him, and it would make it to where Leslie and I couldn't really be that close together. So now I try to make an effort to put the baby down if he's going to sleep, and then come and like straight up cuddle my husband. I don't care if he's working on his laptop. I'll put my head in his lap or wrap my arms around him, rub his back, scratch his back.
That just reminded me, man, gents, listen. You know who's a happy brother right now? It feels so good. Like, I like my wife pregnant, right? But it feels so good not having that stomach there to where we could really cuddle. You know what I'm saying?
I can be Big Spoon again.
I could really get up on her because the stomach ain't there. And it just makes everything so much more. You know, like, this is the way it's supposed to be.
It is. Like, we can wrap our legs up with each other and everything. It's been missed. It's been missed. So.
Yeah, it's nice. But,
So, yeah, I think we're coming to the end here. I think I hear little baby... Maybe I'm just hearing things. I probably am. But I think that's a great way to end our episode with some advice for you guys. If you guys have any questions or want to send us some comments, I really don't know how podcasts work. You can't do it on the podcast, but you can find us on our social media. We actually have an Instagram called the Thompsons Podcast. It's literally THETHOMPSON. I don't know if there's an S. The Thompsons Podcast?
Yeah.
Maybe as a podcast. So try to search that up, and that's our Instagram, and you can definitely send us a comment or a DM there. And if you have any ideas or questions you have about being parents or our last couple years together, definitely send it, and we will do a podcast on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We're not going to make you guys wait too much longer. We already have, like I said, so much content we want to go over. We will be doing one on the birth specifically. We will be doing one on our skydiving trip.
Yeah.
And our real estate careers that we're starting here together. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of, exciting content and just, relatable stuff coming to you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have. Thanks for listening, guys. And this is Leslie signing out.
And Takoya. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.